Yo, what are you lot saying? This is your boy here, and today what I've got for you is an F1 2015 British Grand Prix review for you guys for today. So yeah, let's get straight down to this video for today, guys. And if you do enjoy this video, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and yeah, let's get right into this video like I said. So yeah, we'll start off in qualifying because nothing much really happened in practice, to be honest. So yeah, we'll move to qualifying. Well, before qualifying actually, it was tipped that Alonso would pretty much almost be would not do running qualifying, which meant he would have to start from the back or maybe in pit lane. That's what we all thought. But as soon as qualifying got underway, Alonso was out on the track, so all 20 cars were on the track. All 20 cars were going to qualify in this qualifying session. So yeah, in very, very lovely conditions, by the way. So yeah, so it got underway. We saw Lewis run early, getting a really quick time in 1:34 on the hard tyres. Rosberg, I think, beated that in the first session. So yeah, but in the end, it was the two McLaren Hondas who were out of Q1, unfortunately for them. Along with, I think it was a Toro Rosso, I believe. No, not Toro Rosso. I think it was Nazia. Yeah, Nazia was out of Q1. So yeah, and as well too was their Malamrucia. So yeah, unfortunate for them. And then moving on into Q2, same old at the front. Two Mercedes, 1 and 2, of course. Rosberg beating Hamilton once again. But in the end, it was Verstappen, Kvyat, Hulkenberg, all those lot were out of Q2, unfortunately for them. So yeah, moving on into Q3, this is where the real stuff really began, to be honest. The two Mercedes going at it, hammer and tong for pole position. Now Hamilton set a blistering lap time on his first run. Set like a 1:33 something. So yeah, really strong lap time by Lewis Hamilton there in the Mercedes. Rosberg couldn't beat it. He was down by 10th. And then the second run begun, and as they started the second run, Hamilton was struggling like crazy on his second lap, on his main lap, and as a result had to abort it and go straight into the pits to end the session. And Rosberg, that left which meant that it left an open goal for Rosberg to take, because he was massively quicker than Hamilton in the first two sectors, but unfortunately he lost a massive amount of time, I think in the third sector, which cost him a chance of getting onto pole position. So unfortunate for him, he would have to settle for second by only a tenth to Lewis Hamilton, who took pole position, his third pole position here at the British Grand Prix. Fantastic pole, really hooked it up when he needed it, which was in the first lap, which was awesome. And yeah, really giving him more confidence going into the race, so that's good to see. So moving on into the race, it was a very shaky start between the two Mercedes, which meant that the two Williamses just bolted off the line. It was like they were shot out of a cannon or something like that. They were shot out of a cannon into the lead of the race for both drivers. Felipe Massa leading from Valtteri Bottas from behind. So yeah, the two Williamses leading the race, which was absolutely fantastic to see, reminiscent of the Mansell PK days back in the day in the 80s and all that kind of stuff. So that was nice to see. I was really happy to see those two Williamses leading the race, because you know, from all of the struggles that they had in the past, you know, to finally see them come good, to see them back where they belong, is fantastic. It really, and it also improves the racing as well, you know, gives more of a competition. So yeah, that's fantastic to see. That was fantastic to see when they were ahead. So yeah, and then afterwards, Hamilton, I forgot to mention, Hamilton got ahead of Bottas. As Bottas got ahead of Hamilton going into the first corner into the loop section. So Hamilton took second, but then the safety car came out onto the track because there was an incident between the two Lotus drivers banging into each other, and then afterwards the two McLaren drivers banging into each other. Button getting the worst of it. He had to retire from the race. Unfortunate for him, you know, especially on his home track. So yeah, unfortunate for him. Alonso survived that and went into the pits for a new front wing. He would drop to the back of the grid, so unfortunate for him. And yeah, as the safety car came out, Massa got really loose coming out of Stowe, which meant that Hamilton had a great opportunity to take the lead of the race. He was going to try to go to the inside, but then switched to the outside. Tried to make it work on the outside, but couldn't do it, so he had to run onto the little runoff area, going around Club Corner. And as a result, lost out to Valtteri Bottas, and also lost out to Rosberg, but he managed to keep Rosberg behind him going into Abbey there, so yeah. And then later on we saw a little bit of controversy, I would say, going on between the two Williamses, and that was that Valtteri was closing on Felipe Massa, and as a result the team told Valtteri not to race Felipe Massa, the race leader Felipe Massa, his teammate Felipe Massa, which I thought was really harsh and really unfair, to be honest, because it would have really killed the racing, to be honest, because, you know, having that sort of scenario could really ramp up to be a great race, but sadly it isn't. It wasn't going to be, because they were going to pretty much hold station. So yeah, I mean that's such a shame, to be honest, because if I'm a racing driver and I get close to someone, surely I want to have a go, I want to fight him all the way. But to not have that would really hurt you in a way that you could be gaining a massive amount of time from that. You could be gaining a huge amount from that. So yeah, I mean, just so frustrating to hear the Williams team say that kind of stuff. But yeah, but then afterwards they did say you are allowed to race if the move is clean. So if, in other words, if they don't hold each other off, if they don't make contact, which could put them in jeopardy of being passed by the two Mercedes, that would be fine. So yeah, so Bottas was free to race, like I said, if it was clean. And that's what he tried to do. He tried to do it, but really didn't really have a chance, to be honest. He was trying everything. He was closing him down via DRS, but not enough to overtake him going into Stowe. So really, he was really struggling to get by. And I think at that point, the team should have just called Bottas in to the pits first, rather than Massa, so that you know, they can get Bottas ahead and maybe even give Williams a chance of winning a race. So yeah, I think Bottas was their greatest weapon in terms of Williams' victory. So yeah, but unfortunately they did not use that weapon. So yeah, and as a result, Hamilton came to the pits first out of the leading four. He came into the pits. He pushed hard. He set really quick sector times, and as a result, as Felipe Massa and Rosberg came into the pits, Felipe got a really bad stop, and as a result was side by side with Nico Rosberg going down the pit lane. Thankfully there was no drama after that. Massa got ahead of Rosberg as they came out of the pits. Yep. And as a result, Hamilton took the race lead of the British Grand Prix. The fans went absolutely crazy when Hamilton took the lead of the British Grand Prix from Felipe Massa behind in the Williams. And then afterwards, Bottas came into the pits, and when he came out, he was side by side with Nico Rosberg. Nico got ahead at one point going into the loop section, but then Valtteri made a sweet move round the outside into entry, passing Nico Rosberg as they came down the Wellington straight. Rosberg had DRS after that, but really couldn't do anything about that. So yeah, Rosberg going from 3rd to 4th now. So yeah, and whilst his teammate leading the race, leading it quite comfortably, to be honest, by 4 seconds. So yeah, that undercut really paid off, to be honest. So yeah. And then afterwards we saw the rain come down. That's right, the rain came down with about I would say about 17 laps to go or so. The rain came down, and as a result there was chaos. There was absolute... Oh, before that we had a virtual safety car, the first virtual safety car actually, and that was for Carlos Sainz Jr. Slowing down, having a reliability problem. He had to slow down on the final corner, and as a result the virtual safety car was called. So yeah, because of what happened in Suzuka, tragically for Jules Bianchi there, so yeah, that was the reason why the virtual safety car was put in place. So yeah, we finally got the virtual safety car. It was for a brief second at Monaco, but then it was, a real safety car was taken out. But this time, the full-on virtual safety car was taken out. And what are my thoughts on this? Personally, I think I like this, to be honest. But honestly, I think it would be better if they just had a speed thing, to be honest, just in case, you know, someone gets a little bit cheeky and starts closing up a little bit. So yeah, it'd be nice to see maybe something like what the FIA World Endurance Championship are doing with their virtual safety car, which is putting a speed limiter on there. It'd be nice to see that, to be honest, but whatever. I mean, at least it did its job, which was to not to waste time or do anything crazy like that, to be honest, you know, not to delay time or something like that, you know. It's just, I think it's good, and what it was doing was quite nice, you know. It was put out at the right time, which was for a tractor going onto the track to retrieve Carlos Sainz's car, so yeah. So overall I like it, but maybe something like a speed limiter would be kind of a bit better, but whatever, I still like it at the end of the day, so yeah. But so yeah, the virtual safety car came out, and then afterwards, then about a few minutes later, the virtual safety car came back. The virtual safety car ended, and then we went back to green flag racing, and then afterwards, like I said, the rain came down, and as a result, chaos occurred. A lot of people, some people going in for intermediates, particularly for Kimi Raikkonen, going in for intermediates. As soon as the rain came down, Raikkonen went for inters, but then afterwards really didn't work out for him. Dropped to 8th place, and then afterwards really struggled in the conditions in that Ferrari on those tyres. And then as a result, he had to. And as a result, lost a bunch of time. So yeah, and then afterwards, as soon as the second downpour came down, he had to change his intermediate, so he lost a bunch of time. So unfortunate for him. Really could have had a chance of really scoring, getting 4th or 5th had he stayed out. So, but that, at the end of the day, that's racing. These things can happen to the excuse me. And yeah, and then so the rain came down. A lot of the it was massively raining at Luffield to Cops. So yeah, a lot of people really struggling at that part there. And as a result, we saw Nico Rosberg gaining a bunch of time on the two Williamses, their weaknesses of wet really coming to bite them. And as a result, Nico Rosberg took their place off Valtteri Bottas, and then afterwards took second off Felipe Massa, and really was on a charge for the race leader, Lewis Hamilton. He gained a bunch of time on Lewis Hamilton, a massive amount of time on Lewis Hamilton there, to the point that as soon as he was about 2 seconds behind Lewis Hamilton, Hamilton came to the pits for another set of the a set of the intermediates. He had not run the intermediates yet in those tricky conditions, so he finally did it, and as soon as he did it, the second downpour occurred. And as a result, he made the best call he ever made in his career, I believe, and as a result pulled a 5-second lead as soon as Rosberg came into the pits for the intermediate tyres. Because then afterwards, after Hamilton came into the pits, it started raining heavily, and as a result, Nico lost a bunch of time on the slick tyres. And as soon as he came to the pits, like I said, Hamilton was well gone, and as a result, Hamilton led the race. Really kind of saved his bacon, to be honest, because he could have easily lost the race just like that. So, yeah, I mean, just That's the thing. That's the thing with rep racing. You've got to be on the right tyre at the right time. Because if you don't, you will get screwed over. And if you do, it will really pay off massively, like we saw from Hamilton there. So, yeah, Hamilton really kind of saving his bacon there. And really making the best call we've ever seen ever in F1, to be honest. I mean, what a call. I mean, seconds after he made that pit stop, it started belting it down. So, yeah, making a really successful call there from the team there to Hamilton there. I'm not quite sure it was Hamilton's call or the team's call, but whatever it is, but whoever it was, they have given Hamilton just possibly the best win of his, best drive of his, the best result of his career. So yeah, just absolutely a good call from the team or from himself as well. So yeah. And then afterwards, it just stayed the way it was, you know. It started brightening up a little bit in the final few laps. We also saw as well Sebastian Vettel doing the exact same thing as Hamilton there. Well, later after doing the exact same thing as Hamilton and making that gamble work and getting ahead of the two Williams cars to getting himself up into third place, which he would finish in the end of the race, which is absolutely awesome. A very good drive, a very good call by the Ferrari, or his call, to be honest, you know, to get him in and to get ahead of the two Williamses. Exactly what he needed, because I think he was kind of robbed in Austria because of that pit stop from a podium there, which he could have easily done. So yeah, but to finally grab a podium, to finally earn redemption from that was awesome to see. And yeah, deserving a third by Vettel there, making, like I said, making those calls work. So yeah. Afterwards, as well too, we saw an incident, and that was Will Stevens unfortunately hitting the wall there and losing himself an opportunity of getting into the points. So unfortunate for him there. Would have been nice to see Will Stevens in the points there. Would have really done the British crowd justice, you know. Would have really done him justice as well, to be honest, because at the end of the day, it is his home circuit. So yeah, it would have been nice to see him on the points. But whatever, that's racing. These things can happen. So yeah. Then in the end, it was Lewis Hamilton who took his 38th win, his third British Grand Prix win. It was a fantastic, dominant drive by Lewis Hamilton, making those calls work to perfection there. It was unbelievable. A very controlled drive by him. A very smart and intelligent drive by Hamilton and the team as well. Them scoring a 1-2 with Nico second, a great result for the team. Scoring, I believe, maximum points for them. So yeah. Like I said, third was Vettel, good drive by him. Fourth was Massa, fifth was Bottas. Bottas being massively frustrated, you know. He I think so much, you know, so much potential, maybe for the podium or win for Valtteri, but in the end robbed because of him not being able to get by Massa. So yeah, unfortunate for him. I think that's about it. Like I said, for Alonso getting his first points this season with the team, fantastic. Good drive by Alonso there. So yeah, a very good result by Alonso to get into the points there. So yeah, so overall, very good race, a very enjoyable race. Probably one of the best of this year, to be honest. So yeah, a very awesome race indeed. So yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, then hit that like button below, subscribe if you're new, and see you guys next time. Boys, your boy, I'm out. Peace.